These things are so good. Mm. This is so good.
Less than 10 minutes, loaded oatmeal cookies.
You're gonna want to try this.
For this recipe, you will need oatmeal, flour mixture, and the flour mixture contains flour, baking powder, cinnamon, and some mixed spice, as well as a little salt. You will need some sugar, and you will need whatever you want to put inside your cookies to make it loaded. Okay, so you're looking at 100 grams of softened butter. You notice how soft it is? So I took out the butter out of the fridge and I allowed it to soften for about 2 hours. Now I'm going to add 6 tablespoons of sugar, and I'm just going to cream this until it is light and fluffy. Now the softer the butter is, the easier it is for creaming, so I do recommend that you soften your butter. And just cream it. You can use a wooden spoon, or you can use what I have in my hand right now, which is a spatula. And this spatula is only working because my butter is so soft. Alright, so just cream this. Alright, the softer the butter, the easier it is for the creaming process. So basically this is already done. And that was like 1 minute. So very creamy, very easy, very light, very fluffy. The softer the butter, the better. But not melted, only soft. Alright, so now I'm just going to add 1 egg. Stir that in. Ensure that the egg disappears fully. As you notice there, you cannot see the egg, and the butter looks like it looked before I added the egg. So it's just still creamy and nice. So now we're going to add our oatmeal to the mix. So I'm adding all of the oatmeal at once, and then I'm just going to mix that in. I'm going to add in my flour mixture, which is basically 1 cup of flour with and finally I'm going to add all the wonderful things I would like to add in my loaded cookie. So I'm adding cranberries, coconut, and raisins. Then I'm just going to mix this in. Because it's a personal recipe and it's my loaded oatmeal cookies, whatever you would like to put into your cookies to make it loaded, please go ahead and add those things. So I feel like I want to add a little bit more coconut. All right. You can taste the dough if you'd like. It's something I enjoy doing. You'll know if your dough is delicious, if your cookie will be delicious or not just by tasting it. All right. I deliberately used less sugar than I would normally use because my coconut is coated with sugar, and unfortunately this cranberry also has sugar in it, and the raisins are also sweet. So I reduced the amount of sugar I put for the fact that the other ingredients also have their own types of sugar. So now all you need to do is put this on the plate, on the rack or whatever, bake it for 10 to 15 minutes, and then your cookies are ready. So I don't have a cookie sheet, so I'm using this flan dish, and I've lined it with some grease paper, or a baking sheet if you call it that. So I'm just going to spoon the cookie batter into the container. All right, so you need a good amount of space in between the cookies. Because my dish is so small, I'm making my cookies small as well. All right. So that's 1. All right, and basically these are my oatmeal So for Valentine's Day 1 year, I bought this poo thingy. It's a baking thingy. It's not a baking tray, but it's like a cookie sheet or something like that. So the cookies that I usually put in the poo container are the plain cookies, just regular plain cookies, so that it could catch the shape perfectly. But since I have it, I'm just going to experiment with it and use it and see how these cookies will turn out in the poo container. So I'm just trying it, you know. I'm just gonna flatten these. Loaded poo themed oatmeal and raisins cookies. Yeah. So that's basically it. This is definitely not necessary, but I have some white chocolate. I have some unsweetened chocolate. And I also have some walnuts. So I actually wanted to put walnut in it, but not all the way. So I'm just going to put it on top as a kind of a, I don't know, design. And I'm going to do the same thing with the white chocolate. I'm just going to see if I can hide one white chocolate on the inside of this. Hide another one on the inside of this one. And this dark chocolate is really hard to eat, to tell you the truth. Not even 1% sweetened. It is fully unsweetened. But I'm just going to put that there. So these are my loaded cookies. And I'm just trying something new. This step, you don't have to use this step at all. At all. So yeah, now I'm just going to put it in the oven for the 10 minutes and then I'll show you the end result. So I've removed the cookie from the oven and I've put it on a rack and I'm allowing it to cool for about 10 minutes and then you can eat it. It needs to cool for at least 10 minutes so that the cookie can get its shape and everything before you start eating it. Okay, so I've just removed the Winnie the Pooh cookies from the oven. And I didn't oil it as you saw or anything, but this is hot. But as you can see, it comes off from the side, so there's really nothing holding it to it. So I'm just gonna allow this to cool for about 5 to 10 minutes and then I'll show you what the poo one looks like. Hopefully we have some poo faces or something. I'm excited to see that actually. A little bit hot. It's gonna break, it needs time. So the most we can get out of these cookies is just the shape. You can't really see the details on the cookies, sorry.